I want all the Bitcoin, John.
Yeah, we noticed, Mike. We noticed.
No, actually being more serious, the most important point is, when did you ever hear of a company issuing equity to buy gold? Or when did you ever hear of a company issuing debt to buy gold? And I think the thing that just is most amazing about Bitcoin is a good enough asset. I mean, it's a perfected asset that you can finance it. So in essence, we've issued equity to buy Bitcoin. We've issued convertible debt to buy Bitcoin. We've issued junk bonds to buy Bitcoin. And we've used cash flows to buy Bitcoin. Anybody can use cash flows to buy anything they want. I mean, if you've got cash flows and you want to invest in ice cream trucks or sawdust or lumber or whatever you think is interesting, you can do that. But I think what separates high quality assets from low quality assets is that you can go to the public markets and you can raise capital to buy the asset. And that's really probably the most interesting story in the last 12 months, because if we were unique, maybe you would say it's an oddity, but we're not unique. By the end of the year, there'll be something like 20 publicly traded Bitcoin miners. And all the Bitcoin miners are raising equity, and many of them are raising credit lines. Last week, Grid announced they had a $525 million credit line. And then they announced a SPAC merger to raise another $245 million in equity. And so that just this parade of companies coming public that are raising equity and debt with the intent of, I view it as the intent of buying Bitcoin, because they're either going to buy Bitcoin with it, or they're going to buy Bitcoin mining rigs and pay their expenses so they can keep Bitcoin. So they're covering their operating expenses, or they're covering their capital costs so they can keep the Bitcoin. Mm. And that's only possible because Bitcoin's superior. Like you didn't see 24 companies coming public as gold miners, raising debt and equity and keeping their gold, right? How many gold hodlers are there? There's not one, right? There's not a single company in the world that mines gold so they can store it on their balance sheet. And I think that we pioneered that in a way, but I'm really delighted to see the growth and the vitality and the explosion of the Bitcoin mining industry, because I think that, 1, 2, 3 data points is interesting, but 20 data points is an avalanche. It's not a line anymore.